With improvements in lens quality and mobile chips coupled with falling prices, you can now cram everything you need for 360-degree imagery into one small package. And that's what we have here in the Xiaomi MiJia 360. Xiaomi have a reputation for quality products across a variety of markets, and their 360-degree camera could be a solid competitor in the 360 market, although as with the competition, it's the software that can make or break such a camera. Taking a look at the hardware first though, it's actually rather impressive. It certainly carries a premium feel, being both solid and robust in the hand. With an aluminum alloy frame adding strength and stability, front and rear panels are plastic in construction, which isn't obvious at first but helps reduce weight, which comes in at 108 grams. That's important for a 360 camera considering you'll often hold it high in the air for long periods. We find a 16 megapixel camera lens on either side of the device with a nice wide 190-degree angle of view, meaning each lens captures everything all around it, leaving it down to the software to stitch the two images together, thus providing the 360-degree view. Backed by an Ambarella A12 chipset and a Sony IMX206 sensor, it's capable of capturing a 3.5K resolution. Although that sounds impressive once stitched together, just like most 360 cameras, it's not actually that sharp, which we'll come to shortly. Otherwise, alongside microphone inputs, we have the main shutter button at the top, along with the power and wireless buttons. All incorporate a satisfying and reassuring click. No problems in terms of quality here. Under a flap on one side, we find the micro SD memory card slot, with class 10 cards of up to 128GB being supported, as well as the micro USB charging port where, alongside the cable included in the package, we can charge the internal 1600 mAh battery in around 2 hours, giving us around 75 minutes of recording time, even less with Wi-Fi enabled. Also notice the seal around the flap covering both ports, providing the unit's IP67 waterproof rating, meaning it can be submerged up to 3 feet for 30 minutes. There's no click when closing the flap though, so you'll need to make sure it's properly closed when using it in wet environments. Finally, we find a metal tripod thread under the unit, which is important since it makes no sense to hold a 360 camera. You'll be capturing your hand in half the image. A small hand grip is included with the camera, which doubles up as a mini tripod, providing a complete package. Another action cam feature that the MiJia 360 boasts is its ability to work in temperatures as cold as -10 degrees Celsius. This, when combined with its digital stabilization and its waterproof abilities, mean it's a good option for snow sports as long as you're careful. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with the 360 action cam's build quality and discreet design. While it's not designed to survive drops, nor does it come with a protective housing, albeit a nice soft carry pouch is included for transportation, it will handle most weather conditions without you having to worry. Now bear in mind this unit is mainly sold in Chinese markets, so you'll need to order from a site that ships to your country, but it also means all menus and instructions are of course in Chinese. Fortunately though, it's pretty intuitive, so it's not a huge worry. So hitting the power button for a second switches the unit on and we receive a rather nice hidden icon for the current mode. Hitting the power button again cycles between the video and photo modes. As one would imagine, hit the shutter button to start and stop recording or snap an image. Pretty simple stuff. As for the hardware, I have no complaints. It feels premium and seems to work as it should. However, as stated, these devices live or die by their software though, and the accompanying Mi Sphere app could be enough to make or break the entire solution. Freely available on the App Store, run up the Mi Sphere app and it will take you through the initial setup. Fortunately, it's in English, so pretty easy to follow. But it's the usual process of enabling the camera's wireless hotspot, and connecting to it using your smartphone or tablet. Once connected, we receive a live view of what the camera sees. A second or so lag does exist, but as a live view for framing up shots it's perfectly fine. In true 3D fashion, we can rotate the image as and how we see fit. You can just about notice where both images are stitched together though, so it's not perfect, but enough to get the job done. At the top we have the camera's battery status, as well as a button we can tap to enter all camera settings, and there's all the basic settings to mess around with here, including resolutions, exposure, ISO and so on. Nevertheless, a single button at the bottom cycles between photo and video mode, and the shutter button starts and stops recording, all pretty simple. Once captured, footage can be previewed quite easily where you can use your finger to move around, although to do anything further you'll need to download the video to your smartphone, which isn't the fastest and can take a while depending upon the size of the file. Once downloaded, we can perform some basic edits, which include trimming the clip and adding filters. That's pretty much it. Music can be added, but it's all copyrighted anyway. Considering there is no other way to edit your clips, no computer software as such that can stretch the image and create that 3D effect, just this app, there's not much you can do with the video other than upload it to a compatible website. Otherwise, it's a matter of playing back through your handset itself, although it does support your handset's gyroscope, so switch that on and place the handset into a Google Cardboard kit or other compatible device, and you can view video back in true 3D. As stated, play a resulting video file directly through your computer and you get this, the result from both individual lenses. And although capture quality isn't too bad in its raw form, to get that 3D feel you really are limited to using the app for stitching together your captured content. And when you do, although quality drops quite drastically due to the stretching and image manipulation involved, it's still easily at the top end of the scale when it comes to 360 cameras. For general consumer use, it's pretty respectable and enough to get immersed into the surroundings. Bear in mind, quality drops even more after the compression applied by sites like YouTube, but it's much better when viewed on your smartphone, for example. The software stitches the images from both cameras together almost seamlessly, although when using something like Google Cardboard, video playback can be a little blurry, so it's not perfect by a long shot, but again probably better than most of the competition in the 360 camera market. Image quality on the other hand was much better, with good sharpness being held and colours remaining reasonably true to life. Battery life held almost true, giving me around an hour's use with Wi-Fi enabled, which is okay, although note that the entire camera does get rather warm during use, even in standby when not recording. Obviously nothing near enough to burn you, but it's certainly warmer than your typical action camera, enough for me to notice it and show some concern, although it didn't affect the camera's operation throughout testing. So was I impressed with what Xiaomi have done here? Well, yes and no. The hardware is great, physically the camera has it spot on. The design, the build quality, the overall look and feel, it's all great, no complaints there at all. It's the software side I wasn't too keen on. It feels a little clunky and the reliability is questionable at best. Considering it's the only way to work with the files once captured in order to create that final 3D effect, there's not much you can actually do editing wise. I'd love to see a universal computer app that is more flexible, but the current app did leave me a little frustrated at times. Certainly some improvement needed in that regard. As it stands though, at around $250, it's a premium piece of 360 camera kit that comes with everything except an SD card out of the box, making it a good overall solution. And considering most 360 cameras suffer when it comes to the software side, hopefully that will develop over time. If you're looking to break into the 360 market right now though, the Xiaomi MiJia is a pretty good place to start.